Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ray. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my best tips and tricks about another important task in PTE, Summarize Spoken Text. This is the very first task in PTE listening section, and it contributes points to both listening and writing, specifically 13.1 points to listening and 11.9 points to writing. It's the fifth most weighted question type in PTE and the third most important to your listening and writing score. Before the audio plays, you have 12 seconds to prepare. Use the time to read the instruction, and it will tell you if you'll be hearing a presentation, a short lecture, or an interview. You can adjust the volume by clicking here. This bar shows the progress of the audio clip. It indicates roughly how far along you are and how much material is left. Here is the answer box. You can type in this box as the audio plays. Personally, I type faster than I write, so this is my preferred way. Alternatively, you can use a pen and notepad to take notes during the listening part. You can use your mouse to cut, copy, and paste, but the usual shortcut of Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V do not work here. Right here, it shows your word count. It's very important you write between 50 to 70 words, so pay attention to that. Summarize Spoken Text is like a hybrid between Retell Lecture and Summarize Written Text. The difference is that in Summarize Spoken Text, you write 50 to 70 words in multiple sentences, whereas in Retell Lecture, you are given 40 seconds to speak. And in Summarize Written Text, you can only write one sentence of no more than 75 words. If you combine your note-taking skills from Retell Lecture and your writing skills from Summarize Written Text, you will do just fine for Summarize Spoken Text. I have a few tutorials up already for those two question types, so go check them out after this video. In your PTE exam, you will have 2 or 3 Summarize Spoken Text. For each one, you will have 10 minutes to complete. As I mentioned, you have 12 seconds to prepare before the audio starts. The audio itself lasts about 60 to 90 seconds. So essentially, you will have about 8 to 9 minutes to write, edit, and proofread your summary. Summarize Spoken Text is the first listening task, and it's the only listening task that is timed individually. There is no rollover time, so let's say you save time and complete your first Summarize Spoken Text within 8 minutes. The extra 2 minutes is forever lost in PTE exam. It does not get carried over to your next Summarize Spoken Text or the next listening section. So use all of the 10 minutes to proofread your summary and minimize the simple grammar and spelling errors. Speaking of grammar and spelling, let's take a look at the scoring criteria. Here we have Pearson Official Score Guide. You are scored on 5 traits: content, form, grammar, vocabulary, and spelling. I want to talk about this in a different order. Firstly, form. Your summary needs to be within 50 to 70 words. If it's outside of this word count, as you can see, you will be penalized. The word count requirement is low-hanging fruit. There is no excuse for not getting this one right. Pay attention to word count. Next, spelling. 1 spelling error will deduct 1 point, and 2 spelling errors means you lose all of your spelling points. Make sure you only use words that you are confident about their spelling. When in doubt, avoid using the word. If it's a keyword, try to paraphrase it and use a word that you know how to spell. One not so obvious fact about the spelling requirement is your spelling style. Whether it's American or British spelling, make sure you use the same one throughout your answer. Here is a quick summary. Have a look and identify if your natural spelling is more American or British. Once you pick a side, make sure all of your spellings are in line with that style. For me, 80% of the time, I find myself using American spelling such as color, center, erode, etc. but I realized I also spell my passive tense and passive particles using T, such as dreamed, learned, etc. Now I need to make a conscious effort to correct that by using ED. Next one is vocabulary. You will need to use appropriate vocabulary. Note, as long as you do not make any errors, you will be fine. You will be getting the full 2 points for vocabulary. There is no need for complex, sophisticated words here. You can use it, but just make sure you are 100% confident in its use and spelling. The same goes to grammar. There is no need for complex sentence structure. Less is more. As long as your grammatical structure are correct, you will be getting the full 2 points for grammar. Make sure you start your sentence with a capital letter and end with a full stop. Pay attention to punctuation use. The requirement for grammar for Summarize Spoken Text is a lot easier than Summarize Written Text, where you are required to write complex compound sentence. So make sure you do not get these two question types mixed up. Finally, let's talk about content. To get full 2 points, you will need to provide a good summary of the text. You will need to mention all relevant aspects. If you miss one or two aspects, you will lose 1 point. If you miss the main aspects, you will get 0 for content. This means if you use a very rigid template and only do fill in the blank, you might write off topic and get 0 for content. For Summarize Spoken Text, Pearson Official Score Guide is not super clear on whether they will continue to assess your answer for other traits if you already score 0 for content. However, if we follow the logic for write essay, scoring 0 for content means no further scoring. This kind of makes sense because it will prevent test takers from typing in a memorized perfect paragraph to score full marks on form, vocabulary, grammar, and spelling. In order to capture all aspects of the text, taking notes is critical. As you listen to the audio, write down as many keywords and key concepts as possible. It's impossible to write or type word for word at this stage. And don't worry about your spelling mistake neither, as you can always fix that later. Keywords are usually nouns and verbs. These are content words that give meanings. You should also write down keywords and phrases that help you remember the structure and logical development of the text. This will become all apparent when we go through an example together. Now, let me point this out. As you taking notes, understanding the audio is very important. You should aim to comprehend the meaning of the audio. The notes are serving as a reminder to us, so when that audio finishes, we should be able to look at the note, and that should reinforce our comprehension of the audio. That's it for the first part of the Summarize Spoken Text tutorial. In my next video, we will apply all we learned from this video to an exercise. I will show you how I take notes and put together a high-scoring summary. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.